A lot of folks out there have had their flabbers utterly gasted due to the immature and childish behavior of the so-called Democratic Party. A lot of folks have had their red pill, their awakening. They're finally seeing the Democratic plantation for what it truly is. I just happen to not be one of those individuals. As a matter of fact, I see this as par for the course. I see this as who they are and who they have always been. This is not a different Democratic plantation. This is just a new rendition. This is the remix ignition, hot and fresh out the kitchen. Canceled lyrics. The Democratic Party is the party of slavery, is the party of Jim Crow, is the party who filibustered or postponed the Civil Rights Act for 70 days. And if it wasn't for the majority Republican within the Senate and the House, we would likely still be in Jim Crow right now. If they could have it their way, they would have us back in chains. Ain't that ironic? Weren't we told that DJT was going to be the one to send us back to the plantation? Well, it seems that the Democrats have already had a monopoly on the plantations because they are their plantations. I digress. So when I saw this infantile behavior coming from the left in such a public forum, in what's supposed to be a place of professionality, right? Or professionalism. I don't even know if professionality is a word. I might have just made that up right now, but it sounds fitting. In a space such as Congress, where our tax dollars go in order to have individuals represent our best interests, well, it turns out that at least half of the country, at least half of those quote unquote representatives don't give a damn about us. And I'm not talking about conservatives, Republicans, moderates. I'm talking about Americans, period. They don't give a damn about the people who vote for them, because if they did, they wouldn't be opposing the very things that are hurting their own constituents. But yet here they are showing exactly who they are. They don't give a damn about the issues that the everyday people give a damn about. Instead, they virtue signal their way into God knows whatever little secret societies and clubs that they got going on. Because at this point, I'm thinking to myself, who are you actually appealing to besides the Holly weirdos, right? Who are you appealing to when you don't stand up in memory of a Lake and Riley? Who are you when you are gaslighting a situation of a young boy who is going through cancer treatments and you politicize that point, as opposed to, I don't know, putting your differences aside and celebrating a moment? Instead, you choose to show the infant that you are wrapped up in an adult body. So that being said, let's get into a segment. I usually don't do this, but today I want to take a little time just to really get down to a molecular, cellular level when it comes to the pathetic behavior of the Democratic Party. So let's get into this. If you want to watch the video by itself, you can gladly click the link below. Otherwise, stay tapped in with me and, enjoy the damn show.
All right, thanks, Brett and Martha. Welcome to Hannity. And yes, we are live. We are in Washington, D.C., where only moments ago, President Trump wrapped up his first joint address to Congress of his second term. Coming up, we got a lot of reaction analysis from several people who were inside the chamber. Senator Ted Cruz will join us, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, our Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and House Speaker Mike Johnson, and many other special guests. We'll also check in on our friends in the Democratic Party who continue to make just utter fools of themselves with their little props and disruptive outbursts and coordinated smears and even some vigorous cane waving. Take a look.
We won the popular vote by big numbers and won counties in our country.
Oh, mind y'all, just to give a little context, this speech that he is currently giving is 1.5 months into his inauguration. He's only been in office for 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks. Yeah, you're going to hear more things that have been done within a 6-week span than the last administration did in 4 entire years. And that's no exaggeration. Yeah, we went from Weekend at Bernie's to the literal apprentice. You understand me? The literal apprentice Folks are getting fired. Things are getting done. We're moving and shaking. I mean, there's not a day where there is no activity taking place. I digress. Let's get back into our place.
Small business optimism saw its single largest one-month gain ever recorded, a 41-point jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning. Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Put in layman's terms, FAFO. You gonna find out. We gonna throw you up out of here immediately, expeditiously, okay? And mind you, I keep looking at DJ T's face, and all I think to myself is this. The first time when I was going through some of this content, I was thinking to myself, do these Mongols not understand that Trump is a master negotiator? That's what he has done day in, day out for the last 750 years. That's who he is. That's what he does. He breaks, negotiates, creates deals. That's what he does. His entire livelihood constitutes of deal making. This is an individual who has been in rooms with some of the most quote unquote powerful people and stared them down until he got his demands. So the fact that they're going to sit there and throw their little pity party, or Al Green with the damn cane, is going to be waving his cane around and thinking that's going to do anything, you don't know who you're dealing with. And mind you, he was in New York real estate. That is the land of the sharks, the gorillas, the Tyrannosaurus Rexes of the world, right? If you're going to be in any world where you get torn a whole new a-hole, it's going to be in New York and in New York real estate. That's what this man has survived when it comes to his actual work. Whereas in Congress, they've had little patty cake sessions for the last God knows how long. So, yeah, good luck, folks. Good luck.
All right, a lot more on these antics in just a moment. While Democrats, they play stupid games with their performative stunts, President Trump is on the move. The nation saw that tonight in all of its force, if you will. In only 6 weeks, we have seen more action, more results from the Oval Office than almost anyone thought possible. Let's take a look.
I return to this chamber tonight to report that America's momentum is back. Our spirit is back, our pride is back, our confidence is back, and the American dream is surging bigger and better than ever before. And we've ended weaponized government where, as an example, a sitting president is allowed to viciously prosecute his political opponent, like me. How did that work out? Not too good. Within hours of taking the oath of office, I declared a national emergency on our southern border, and I deployed the U.S. military and Border Patrol to repel the invasion of our country.
Oh, y'all got to hear this one. So Dollar Store Obama, a.k.a. Hakeem Jeffries, the same man who a few weeks ago was talking about how racist Trump's border policies were, right? Y'all saw people getting sent back to where they once came. The same exact Dollar Tree fake-ass Obama is now, get this, taking credit for the low border entries. 93% drop in border entrances in illegal break-ins into this nation. And now Hakeem Jeffries is got the audacity to call that a victory of the Democratic Party. Either how insane are these people, or how stupid do they really think we are? Which one of those two is it? Do they think we genuinely do not have the capacity to think past the second or third grade level? And that's an insult to the second and third graders. How stupid do you have to be? And that's exactly how they see it. They have to see us as stupid. There's no way they can be doing this level of gaslighting in our face, playing in our face, without believing that we are complete and absolute Mongols, brain dead. You understand me? Got me started early in the morning today. My goodness, this is my first segment today. Lord have mercy.
And what a job they've done. As a result, illegal border crossings last month were by far the lowest ever recorded, ever. To unshackle our economy, I have directed that for every one new regulation, 10 old regulations must be eliminated, just like I did in my very successful first term. And I have stopped all government censorship and brought back free speech in America. It's back. We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer. I also signed an executive order to ban men from playing in women's sports. And
on that one, when they panned over to the audience, the entire Democratic plantation is sitting down. The party of women's rights is sitting down when it comes to protecting women's rights. You can't make this shit up, folks. You cannot make this up. The party who purports to be for women's rights is opposed to protecting women's rights.
And in the near future, I want to do what has not been done in 24 years, balance the federal budget. We're going to balance it.
On top of all that, President Trump created DOGE to identify waste, fraud, abuse, corruption, now rampant inside our federal bureaucracy, including Social Security fraud. Take a look.
1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby. Including, to finish, 1,039 people between the ages of 220 and 229, one person between the age of 240 and 249, and one person is listed at 360 years of age.
Whatever they own, I need that. Whoever you are, 300 years old, with your creepy, crawly behind, I need whatever you're on. I need the elixir immediately.
More than 100 years older than our country. But we're going to find out where that money's going, and it's not going to be pretty.
And, of course, the Bobby Kennedy joke, one of the big lines of the night. Of course, the Democrats in the room did not celebrate DOGE. In fact, they couldn't even bring themselves to stand and cheer for President Trump's pledge to remove taxes on tips and overtime and Social Security. Take a look.
Very, very big part of our plan. We had tremendous success in our first term with it. A very big part of our plan. We're seeking permanent income tax.
Why the hell is Nancy wearing a damn mask? The year of our Lord 2025, Nancy Podolsky. I'm going to call her not Pelosi because she's getting more Dosky. Nancy Mordosky, because she's getting more and more bread every time I see her. She's richer and richer. She got what? She gets paid $200,000 a year. They say in order for her to accumulate the wealth she has in the job that she's actually worked, she would have to have worked for 1,500 years. 1,500. Now, I would believe that she might be the person who is 300 plus years old, right? I would actually, if anybody is to be the 300-year-old person in this, it is Nancy Mordosky. 1,500 years it would take. No wonder why she hates Doge. No wonder why she does not want to see the government waste, i.e. Washing of our money. No wonder why she doesn't want to see that finished. Because Nancy Mordosky is getting no Mosky. Damn.
Income tax cuts all across the board. And to get urgently needed relief to Americans hit especially hard by inflation, I'm calling for no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security benefits for our great seniors.
Democrats tonight.
None of them. I don't even think Nancy could stand up anymore. She looks to be at least 1 foot in the grave. But the so-called party for the people can't even stand to support and endorse, which means that when it comes to the House and the Senate, know exactly who's going to oppose these very things that are going to change your life. These are the people who say, no, because it's coming from the other side of the aisle, we're not going to support it. We're not going to endorse it. How dare them cut government waste? How dare them use your money efficiently? To hell with them. This is y'all money. That is not our money. That's how these people think. They think that they're going to find their way in 4 years or 8 years back in office while opposing the good of the people who are supposed to get their butts into office. Every single day they're leaking supporters, and I love to see it. Give us another 150 years of another 1,500 years of sanity. Nancy might still be around.
Were so pathetic. They couldn't even stand for Laken Riley's family. Jocelyn Nungary, his mother, a slain officer's wife, Stephanie Diller. They couldn't even stand for a beautiful 13-year-old cancer survivor who dreams of being a police officer and tonight became a Secret Service agent, DJ Daniel. He said, "This is my 5th time at a joint address from President Trump. And sadly, there is nothing this president could do or say that would make these Democrats stand and cheer. This has now become a party of rage and hate, a radicalized party reduced to a collective temper tantrum, sitting on their hands doing nothing."
This ain't even about partisanship anymore, because I genuinely feel sad. Genuinely, like, these individuals are so overcome with hatred, with the disdain. And I think is it the chicken or the egg? Like, did the party attract, or did their movement? Because the Democratic Party has always been terrible, but have they always been, neo-Marxist? Have they always been this idiotic sort of ideology? Have they always been that? I'm going to say that most of it is probably because they were hijacked by these extremist activists, right? They have always been the party of Jim Crow, slavery, etc. That is their history, and that will not change no matter how you feel about it, right? But when we get into modern context, I believe that they were hijacked at some point, because how do you get to the place where you can't even support the very innocent, the most vulnerable individuals within your society because you're so opposed to the other side? I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. It's like, I can disagree with you. I cannot like what you're saying. I don't stand on what you stand on. We can argue. We can go back and forth. But for me to lose my humanity in the context of that likely means that I had no humanity to start with. Are these just terrible people? Like, y'all tell me y'all opinions. Are these people just, they don't have a heart? Because this isn't about Republican, Democrat, right? Trump isn't a very conservative president. Now, I know that there's a lot of propaganda that's been pushed to have you believe things that don't exist, right? You were made to believe he's a racist, a sexist, a homophobe, a fascist, et cetera, et cetera. Well, his cabinet are filled with these sorts of individuals, people he personally picked to be in positions and places. Oh, but those are tokens. He's doing that as a political look. He's damned if he does, he's damned if he don't, right? Has a celebration for Black History Month, is erecting statues for the likes of Harriet Tubman to Coretta Scott King. Oh, well, he's just doing that because he's trying to pander to, okay, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, if you're Trump. But this is beyond political lines. This is just down to humanity. That's what I've been looking for. I'm like, how do I contextualize this? Have you lost your humanity to the point where you can't even see, some of these atrocities and say to yourself, we don't want this to continue? People's hard-earned money. They say $20 million wasted by the government is 1,000 people's yearly tax return or yearly taxes. 1,000 Americans' yearly tax is gone when you hear 20 million. How many times have you heard 50 million for this, 100 million for that, 2.5 billion, $300 billion sent over to Ukraine plus? How many times have you heard those type of numbers? That's our money that is being sent over there, that you work, that you scrape for. Y'all know what it is to work a job that you absolutely hate and you want to make your way out of, but you know that you got to support your family, and so you make things happen, right? It's always a choice, but sometimes you just got to make the harder choice, which is, I don't want to be here. I genuinely don't, but I make the best of it so I can. And imagine working that the entire year. You send back 33% of your damn paycheck to the government. And what do you get in return? Oh, they send that over to Iraq so they can produce Trans Sesame Street. Yeah. They're going to send that over to Gaza so they can $50 million over to Gaza for rubbers. What are we talking about here? And then to get to the Lake and Rileys, etc., a young woman who was brutally slaughtered by a legal immigrant, an act that says, hey, you know what? Maybe we should not only prosecute, but also send back the individuals who do these atrocious things. The Democrats sit down. They're not in support of it. You go into the Senate, they're not in support of it. That is inhumane.
For the American people. But tonight, this is also a defeated party. No solutions, no coherent message, no plan for the future, simply reduced to political stunts and smears and outright lies. And they were holding the little signs that read...
Do y'all see some of these ghouls and creatures that are sitting over there? You got the bald head that look like straight out of Wicked. You got a purple-haired troll. My God. What is wrong with these people?
Save Medicaid, even though President Trump promised to protect it. Others held signs smearing Elon Musk. Congresswoman Tlaib brought her very own whiteboard. Karl Rove will be jealous, presumably so she could make it up as she goes along. But tonight's speech wasn't about the angry Democrats that have no vision for our country on the left side of the chamber. As a matter of fact, it wasn't even about politicians on either side of the aisle. As always, President Trump's speech was dedicated to you, the people that make this country great, the American people. Moments ago, the president highlighted the courage of one brave young man from Texas. This was quite a moment. Take a look.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago. Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer, actually a number of times. The police love him, the police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
How great was that?
And still the Democrats find a way to take those moments and to completely destroy them because they are, I'm convinced at this point, they are not human, or at least they have gone so far from their own humanity that they can't even see a moment like this or many others and think to themselves, let's put aside our differences and let's do what is best for as many people as possible within the country that we were essentially voted into, paid for, paid by to represent. I appreciate you for tapping into this video, and if you would like to show some love to the channel, make sure to click the link below titled Buy Me a Coffee, or you can send a Cash App, or, just keep showing up. I'll keep showing up, you keep showing up, and it'll be a beautiful thing. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light.